Okay, magandang gabi kababayan. Kung gabi man dyan or tanghali or hapon or umaga, madaling araw, anong oras man. Nandito naman tayo sa ating podcast with Near Protocol Philippines. Once again, this is your host, Orvard, and my co-host, Andy.
Good evening.
Kumusta ka ngayon, Andy?
Doing well.
Yeah. So, last time, diniscuss natin yung problem sa creator economy.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi kung merong centralized na publisher, parang oppressive yung style. Pero ngayon, with this technology, it's a game changer, bringing back the power to the creators. If they know what to do with it. Yun yung ano doon. Yun yung catch. If they know what to do with it, which i-discuss natin ngayon. So again, this is a review of a blog written by the CEO of Near Foundation,
Eric Trotman.
Yep. And it's just, I think, when we discussed this last week, parang kalalabas pa lang the night before. So this is like an 8-day-old article. Ito yung pag-usapan natin ngayon kung ano yung mga bagong tooling ngayon ng mga creators. Essentially, I think pag sinabi natin creator here, let us pre-qualify that. It means that you're an NFT artist on a blockchain. Whether it's visual or music.
Yeah.
And Andy itself is an NFT artist, so he can certainly relate and probably can learn something from this. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, kasi you can say na parang I'm part of the creator economy in terms of being a creator.
Right, a creative artist. Okay, so what's changing today? I think that Andy, you can read the first sentence and also the paragraph that follows, and then I'll take over from there.
All right, so what's changing today? So how do we make the creator economy more sustainable for everyone? It requires improving the underlying technology of the web to unlock new tools for both creators and their communities to build stronger, more sustainable bonds. Specifically, it means merging the technological revolution which started with Bitcoin in 2008 with today's internet to create new tools like NFTs, DAOs, fungible tokens, and open finance or DeFi.
Thank you. Meron lang tayong mga deep words dito, yung DAO. I-discuss natin yan at some future date, maybe 10 years from now. No, hindi naman.
Ano po yung full meaning ng DAO pala?
Decentralized automated organizations. It's a governance process na blockchain-based. Pero yung use cases niya medyo malalim pa. Hindi pa ngayon, hindi pa I think yung unless that our audience is well informed and have experienced the benefit of the DAO, so to speak, pun intended, of course, then we can set this aside for now, and then we just focus on the created art in the form of an NFT, non-fungible token. By the way, here with Near Protocol Philippines, if you want to know more and educate yourself on blockchain and crypto, you can watch a lot of our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and hit that bell icon so that you can get updated. Because sometimes a certain subject requires several immersion of different aspects of it. Like Andy, for example, in mathematics, I'm not saying that I'm a math genius, but I'm just saying this as an example, or maybe science, for instance. You cannot say that you have a conceptual grasp of science without first learning, basic biology or chemistry or physics before you can really have a measure of understanding of what science is, what it's all about, its methodology.
It really starts with the basics, with the simple things.
In the same vein, crypto and blockchain may sound too much to chew, but here in Near Philippines, we are breaking them down into smaller bite-sized morsel so that you can chew them and digest them, not suffer indigestion. So in a more, kasi maraming use cases ng blockchain and crypto. But in our case, we are featuring the use cases in the form of NFTs, yung mga readily tangible and makikita mo talaga yung function niya. Hindi yung parang medyo advanced na too technical. No. Because there's a technical side to blockchain. So that's why what we're talking here is we're not really going to elaborate on the DAO, but we're just going to discuss how, if you're a creator, how can you benefit from this new age of technology paved by Bitcoin in 2008 and how it is now in the present year, 2021. Okay. Exacerbated by the pandemic, because when people are staying at their home now, we interact in a remote way with one another. All right. So that's why, Andy, what's changing today? More sustainable for the artists. You don't have to go to a centralized publisher where you can sign different contracts now rigged for the company, not for you. It's quite oppressive, actually. Okay. Now, let's go to the specifics. Here's how it all fits together. As I continue reading here, it says, if you go back to the creator economy triangle from before, each corner has needs that weren't met before. So ito yun, yung triangle. Creators on top, open finance on the lower right. And they cannot survive without the other. And the network here is, of course, Neo Protocol. So, sabi dito, sa creators na side, it says, creators haven't been able to sustainably benefit from their intellectual property because of the commodification. They're being commoditized. Their content is being commoditized in the digital world, which devalues their creativity and which leaves them at the mercy of their distribution partners, e.g., i.e., publishers or record labels, and the platforms holding their fan bases, be it Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which is owned by a centralized. These are not blockchain-based platforms. So yun, they don't own the platform on which their fan base is nestled. Ito yung problem yan. How about sa communities na aspect? Communities haven't been able to effectively self-organize outside of existing social platforms, make themselves sustainable, or align their interests with those of the creators they support. So for instance, Andy, if you're an artist, no, which you are, kung meron kang 5,000 followers, and they are on Facebook, then you're at the mercy of Facebook's rules and regulations, terms and conditions.
That's very true. If you mess up and Facebook maybe decides to ban you or, take the followers away, then wala ka talagang may magagawa,
Because you don't own the platform.
Yeah.
Yes. So at kahit yung mga fan base mo, 5,000 na ba? Saan pa namin kayo makikita, Andy? Hindi naman pwede na i-SMS mo sila, bigyan mo sila ng globe or smartphone, tapos tatawag sila.
No. Also, what this creator thing, no? Yung devaluing their creativity at leaving them at the mercy of the distribution partners. I know of a few creators who really experience this, this for themselves. Yung artworks nila, even some of them, with regards to parang the middleman, yung distribution partners, you can say, also like the middleman, they charge very, very, high fees. Or yung percentage ng sales, it's a big chunk of the sales, which originally was supposed to go to the artist, kinuha nila. So yeah,
correct. But I guess that's justified because if they're like a distribution partner, they act as a business unit, and running a business is not cheap. You have an office to rent. You have utilities, and let's say you have phone lines and electricities. You've got employees. You've got taxes. So you have to have your own accountant. And so all these overhead expenses is taken care of by the distribution partners. That's why yun nga, yung natira dun sa artist mismo is barya na lang. Correct?
Yeah.
I think it's not that we're painting them in a bad light.
Bad light.
But it's just the reality. They themselves don't have they don't even have a choice, the distribution partners. So yun yung problema, yun yung obstacle, if you will. Moreover, yung quality ng art form nila is na-devalue in a sense na, let's say you're an artist. Oh, Andy, let's say you're a musician. You created a music na talagang close to your heart. You believe that this is your craft. You're so proud of it. But since you're signed under my record label, I'll just tell you, I don't like this one, or let's change this one into a more pop culture, like K-pop type. So how would you feel if you created that thing with your creative juices, sweat, blood, and tears, so to speak? And then I'll just tell you, because you were signed up under me,
it's not good enough.
It's not good enough, or let's change it. Yeah. How would you feel?
Yeah, personally, siguro I'd feel bad kasi yeah, it takes a lot of effort into creating art personally. Personal experience, yeah, it's not easy to create something. And once you do create something that you're proud of, to hear it from others, saying I don't like it, or can we change it? It kind of parang it lowers your self-esteem. Makes you feel bad.
Right. Tama. So that's the issue there. Again, this is not to vilify them, but it's just the reality. So yun nga. So creators, communities, and then what kind of tooling do they need? Let's move to the third element of this. Financial tooling. It says, as I read, quote, has limited the economy itself to one-time or recurring payments for goods or services, because the tooling has been anchored in a world of bank accounts and PayPal-like providers. Centralized pa rin, hindi siya blockchain-based. Royalty schemes and payments are also notoriously arcane, very obsolete, inconsistent, and exploitative to creators. Remember, if you're a budding artist, you may not have all the financial capabilities to hire your own lawyers, But kung merong talent scout na nakakita sa'yo, and then that talent scout or agent probably will try to exploit you at the same time, and you're at their mercy. All the contracts are geared or rigged for the distribution partner. Then halos wala nang matitira sa'yo. Right?
Yeah. Also these providers, it was mentioned here kasi they sometimes they charge also fees for every transaction you make on their platform, and sometimes you're also, if they change their policies, something that makes it more restrictive for somebody, you really can't do anything because they're holding your money.
Yeah, essentially, that's what it is. You work under us. You are our property now. So produce art, and then we sell it to your fan base. We're pretty much like an instrument now. Parang cog in a machine. Okay. Now let's move. It says, I think this is your turn now. 2 paragraphs.
Yeah. So in 2021, blockchain technology has finally arrived at the point where it can solve all 3 of these issues and unblock the creator economy. This is because each of the key aspects of the creator economy is served by a specific set of tools which weren't possible to combine like this before a platform like Near was available. This gives us a new creator economy triangle, which shows how these tools, NFTs, DAOs, fungible tokens, and open finance interact.
So we're going to show you the diagram here. Yun. Now, this is where DAOs come in. Uh, so again, these three elements here, components, these are the tools. So if you're a creator, you create your value or product in the form of NFT. In your case, Andy, it's visual. Maybe that's on Paras or Mintbase. If you're an artist, it's going to be on Mintbase because they've got audio NFT capability. Your community can use fungible tokens in the form of near token. So
or
your
other forms of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it could be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever. And then in the form of DAO, if you create your own DAO, you DAOize it. DAOize, that's not even a verb, but let's coin that term. Speaking of coinage, altcoin. And then, of course, there are some principles in open finance or DeFi, which is liquidity. You've got to have liquidity for your token to pick up momentum. That's quite a deep topic, quite technical when it comes to liquidity. I think you have a measure of understanding this, Andy, because you yourself, you are a trader as well. So the whole liquidity thing. Mm-hmm. Would you like to comment on the liquidity open finance before it can really become a valuable, token? It has to have liquidity first, or maybe we can reserve it for later. We'll just
I guess we can reserve it for another time because it's also a big topic of its own.
Correct. But anyways, the point here is, guys, what you're seeing here. Okay, actually, my mouse is jittery because I must have downloaded a certain PDF file sometime. I like to download PDFs, and you don't know what you're getting sometimes, like a box of chocolate, right? You don't know what's in the file that you've downloaded. So the creators are the ones who produce the value. The communities are the consumers, using either DAO or their money. They're in the form of a fungible token. In this case, it's near coin. And then the open finance, let's say mechanics. How does it work? Yun yung structure na gagawa ng exchange directions in two ways, from creators to communities and communities to creators, right? So maybe I'll just let you read the last 3 or 4 paragraphs.
All right,
and then we can comment on it.
Okay, so at a high level, it breaks down like this. NFTs are basically digital containers which can hold IP or intellectual property, but which liberated it to be owned and traded, so creators have a world of new ways to produce, distribute, remix, and monetize content. DAOs are basically like shared bank accounts for communities, which are entirely digital. So it's really easy for communities to act almost like official co-ops or companies and build sustainable models for themselves. They can issue fungible tokens, which are basically membership cards with a lot more potential superpowers to drive more engagement. And open or decentralized finance is a whole toolkit which allows creators, communities, NFTs, DAOs, fungible tokens, and all other pieces of the digital economy to plug into each other in ways that no one has ever done before, allowing entirely new ways of earning income for creators or benefiting from the upside of membership for community members.
Thanks for reading. Actually, the mic has a mute feature itself. Try to see if you can hear me.
No, I cannot hear you. Walang sound. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't have to push the soft button there on Zoom. Which would you like to comment on among the 3?
Yeah, so I'd like, of course, NFTs. It's the most I relate with. I guess NFTs basically it gives the creators their own the power to really own their what they create. So it's a way to for them to parang be able to distribute and make money, make a living, career out of their art and their creations without having to go through a middleman, or without having to be again like under the mercy of a distributor. Yeah, it's a very empowering for creators yung NFTs basically.
Yeah. You don't store your creation on some centralized database server somewhere else, but it's in the blockchain, which means no one can steal it from you. You own it perpetually until you send it to others. Maybe you want to donate your art or bought by someone at an auction. Yeah, thank you. So DAOs again, it's a governance dynamic na may voting na kung i-release ba yung fungible tokens or to whom. Did you know that I think the first state in the US that approves of a voting in the form of DAO is in Wyoming.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wyoming right now is the most blockchain friendly state in the whole universe. Of course, I'm speaking about the Earth, but since there's, as we know, there's no other creatures in the universe, so you can just say. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but it's true also. Wyoming is the most blockchain friendly state, not just in the US, but in the whole world.
And just para question.
They have their own token as well in Wyoming.
I see. So DAOs can they don't have to be right? They don't have to be, for example, the community that governs the DAO. They don't have to be in the same place, essentially.
No.
They can be like in different parts of the world, kabilang banda ng globe, and still be part of that DAO.
Right. So in the case of Wyoming, for example, since they have this decentralized automated organization to vote or to do whatever funding that they have, they create their own token for the funding. But of course, you have to have a council that approves of proposals. But anyways, we're going to learn about that, more on that as we go on later on. But anyways, we're just to simplify this, it's just community. Okay, your community is not nestled in one centralized Web 2-ish system. So you can still own your community in the blockchain. That's what it essentially is. And of course, decentralized finance, I guess Andy has more experience than I am, but maybe I have a little bit more of a conceptual framework than he is. But when it comes to DeFi, I guess Andy has already been investing in and he knows how to liquidate and convert to fiat and whatever. But essentially, yes, we have to have money in the blockchain. We're just it's just like creating our own world, Andy, and then leaving the old world and then have our own tools. Kung creator ka, NFT, bibenta mo. If you're on Mint-based, it's not just the art. It could be ticket, it could be voucher, purposeful NFT. And then your community buys it, you market it, you sell it, and you use open decentralized finance as a tool or as an exchange, medium of exchange. It's your virtual money. So essentially, ganito siya. This is what we're going to continue next time, if there is such a thing. I think next time we'll give them some idea. Oh no, not yet. Let's not overpromise for next time. So, but again, the whole point of this, Andy, is the advent of blockchain has given or afforded creators the power to command, decide, come up with idea on how to sell, distribute, and create their own art form. Any last words before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just appreciate how blockchain technology has come from being simply of blockchain into like widening out, its various applications. It can be used in different ways, which really benefits not just one part of maybe the business world, but various forms of like artists, yung mga finance communities, I guess. So yeah, it's a really, again, like, it's very empowering to a lot of communities that have been, uh again, I won't say exploited, but yeah, that have been like uh what do you I forget the term.
Taken advantage of.
Yeah, you can say that. Not, yeah, taken advantage of, not necessarily, but yeah, to some extent.
Yeah, and again, the community members of Near PH, once you've gotten to know this, you can fly on your own. But until then, you can stick under our wings, and we'll try to create some structures and systems for you to thrive as artists. Okay. So once again, Andy, any last words? None for now. All right. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Once again, this is Near Protocol Philippines. This is your host, Orvard, and co-host there, Andy Marpa in City of Love, Iloilo. Bye for now.